set.
Hello and welcome to Safari Rally at Kenya. This is where it all begins for 2024. Now myself and Chenny are up in the President's Suite here in the service park. The action will begin very shortly. Chenny, there is nothing quite like a Safari Rally.
Yeah, it's very, very unique, isn't it? It's a very, very special place to come rallying. And the interesting thing for me, we were talking about it in commentary yesterday with Bex, is this year has been three very unique rallies to start. Monte Carlo, Sweden, and here at the Safari Rally Kenya. And you can't approach this rally where you go flat out. You've got to drive with your brain. You've got to look after the car. This is as close as we get to a rally raid event or a Dakar event in rallying. And it certainly mixes things up. It's great. Wonderful to be here.
Wonderful to be here indeed. The wildlife is certainly out in full force as well. You will be seeing all of the wildlife and these incredible backdrops throughout all of the stages. Now, Saturday, Chenny, is one that we've got to just talk about. It is a monster of a day in terms of stages. And in the past, I think in 2001, the three stages were actually one stage at one point. But this is the biggest day in terms of kilometres that we've had since we're back in Safari. Yeah,
it's a really big day, as you said, and there's an awful lot of opportunity to get caught out. We can't as well ignore the weather. And I think traditionally it's been dry in the morning and then the rain comes in the afternoon. It kind of bakes during the morning and then gets wet in the afternoon. So potentially we'll see a bit of rain on Saturday as well. I think it's going to be a mammoth day, like you say.
And you're excited to see the snorkels, aren't you?
Well, the snorkels is something we're going to be talking about. The snorkels are back this year, and that's great as well. But yeah, we'll get technical on those as the weekend progresses.
We will do, indeed. Well, how are the drivers feeling about this weekend? Let's find out.
Safari Rally Kenya, firmly established on the World Rally calendar after its return 3 years ago. A true classic. Toyota chasing their first win of the season, dominant on Safari over the years. World champion Kalle Rovanperä hoping to repeat his victory here 2 years ago.
A Safari is a special event, of course. The challenge is always to let's say, try to manage the speed between going really fast and taking care of the car and the tires. This year going in the different time of the year in the rain season. The surface what we see there on rain is the most slippiest surface you can have ever, I think, on that kind of condition. And it's so difficult, so I think if we are gonna have some proper rains there, it can be extremely tricky.
Of course, it's the most extreme event we do on the calendar in terms of how rough the terrain is. And of course there's an element in Safari of looking after the car, which doesn't happen so much with the strength of the modern car. So still in Safari there's a lot to think about, and of course we head there now in what they call rainy season. So the setup is something quite unique. Of course the car is at its highest that it is throughout the year. Naturally we have a lot of these dips and bumps and jumps, so we naturally need a lot of ride height in the car, but that also then poses the challenge that the car is up in the air, and you have to try and manage the fact that you need grip, but you also have to manage the fact that the car is so high you have to stop it rolling so much. So it's quite a difficult balance to strike between getting the grip and of course having the protection you need to survive Safari.
Eldon Evans, two-time podium finisher in Kenya, part of a dominant Toyota team on Safari. 3 straight victories, locking out the podium each year with one exception. Oitanak claiming 3rd place for Hyundai on the WRC's return to Africa in 2021.
First time I was there, I was, not really sure what's going to be happen. Obviously, it's so wide open there, and actually also the stages are changing a lot, from one to another. And there are actually stages which are a bit like roads, and then there are stages you are just driving on the fields for 20-30 kilometers. So the challenge is to keep the car in one piece and to not have a puncture, and to, let's say, to not have any kind of issue where you can lose time just because of something not related to driving.
Sometimes you don't follow the roads, you make your own road, it's hard to see where the road is going, the wreck is already challenging, you can have some really rough sections, so the change of rhythm is quite big in some of the stages. And generally the animals crossing, the nature, the locals who are excited about the WRC. And everything looks a bit different on paper and even more on reality.
It's really different at what we normally. It's just flat in every corner and we use the grip. Now it's different. You need to choose your lines, etc. to get through also, basically, to not be damaging the car or not getting a lot of fresh in the cockpit. It's special. I think it's many things. It's not only one. And it's longer, so it's a really long rally if you look at the conditions we can find. And if you add the weather, then it's a completely different rally.
The thing that's a bit special is the Rally 1 are so strong. You might think it's a really like a rally you need to be careful with and just manage through the rough section. But the level of WRC is so high and the level of the car is so high as well and so strong that I think you just have to drive almost like normally on any other event, and that's the difficult part of knowing, do I have to manage or do I just go through it, and we will see. So that's a bit special about Kenya.
There is something very, very special about Kenya. Things there, it is slightly different. Fesh, the rain's coming. It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a real balancing act, as you said, and you can't, if you go somewhere like Finland or Croatia, you have to go flat out. If you don't, you get left behind. Here at Safari, you can't do that. It's a real balancing act between knowing how hard you can push the car, not breaking it, and then, of course, as I said, the weather can throw all sorts of things into the mix, can't it? So yeah, it's a very unique place to come rallying.
Every single second of this rally is going to be exciting. It will all unfold in front of your eyes. But before the rally got going, Kalle Rothenpera was doing a bit of training with two very special people.
Well, as you can see, I'm up in the Arctic. A couple of friends invited me to come and meet with them. All I got was these lousy coordinates.
I wonder what David is.
Did you send him the link where we are?
I think I did.
Guys! I found you! Hi, David.
You made it.
That was quite a trek.
Good to see you, man.
How are you?
Good you made it.
Oh, man.
Good you made it.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, so, tell me, what fun?
Let's see how it is to drive on the deep snow.
Okay. Okay.
David, you did it. Well done. He's not my old teammate. Can't be. Look at that Scottish man swimming.
I think I'll just wait here. I'm stuck. I need help. Gally, I think that we can all agree that Mick and I do not have a future on the powder, but I'm impressed with what I've seen you do, so can you give us a little show?
Yeah, I can try to do something.
He makes it look easy.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
So it must be traditional around here to have a sauna.
Sauna is a great idea. Kalle must be so cold now.
I think so. Be nice after this. So let's go.
Excellent. Cheers, guys. Well done. Well done.
Mika Hakkinen, David Coulthard and Kalle Rothenperä riding off into the sunset together. Well, the question will be, can Rally, I think, to be fair, I call him Rally Rothenperä quite a lot. And Julian said it is quite, to be fair, if there ever was a name that was going to go for it, Rally Rothenperä wouldn't be bad.
Quite right, yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Pretty sure he wants to be called Kalle, but anyway. All right, the opening ceremony is about to start down in Nairobi. We'll be covering all of that for you, bringing all of the cars as they cross over the start ramp. So that is Carl Tundo, and I'm going to hand over to our commentary team to take you through.
Thank you very much, Kiri. Yeah, Bex Williams here and PK ready to talk you through the ceremonial start. Carl Tundo, who is first over the ramp. The man who's won the Safari Rally 5 times. He's been on the podium 12 times.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see it.
Let's have a listen in. Julian Porter's there for us, asking the questions.
There he is, looking very stylish in his Kenyan hat. But yeah, I was just going to say it's great to see some of these local drivers represented, isn't it, in the WRC2.
All right, as we count down to the start, Carl Tundo, recently the chair of the local organizing committee, but more importantly, we are acknowledging his 5-time Safari Rally wins, navigated by his long-time Carl Tundo. Before you get into the car, a word to our fans, and of course, this is yet another opportunity for you to showcase your skill. I mean, you've taken a break a little for other engaging engagements, but you're here for the rally. Many people are very excited to have you back in the Safari. How is it for you, being the Safari, looking forward to another good finish, finishing in a good place last year?
Yeah, I'm super excited. You know, Safari Rally to me is it's in my heart. This will be my 24th Safari Rally that I've done. I think I might be the oldest here in the car, but looking to give the Kijanas a good race.
Age is nothing but a number. You and Tim have a formidable partnership. How far have you prepared this time? You've got another brand sponsorship from Betika. Well done and congratulations. All set?
Yeah, we're set. We're ready to go. We're hoping the Easter rains will open the gates, the floodgates, and let's see how everyone fares.
All right, Carl, all the best. 5-time Safari Rally winner, navigated by Team Jessop.
Impressive stuff, isn't it? 5-time winner of this event. He really knows and understands the terrain here. I was chatting to him yesterday, and I said, you know, how is it going to change? We're back to the traditional date, of course. You know, what's it going to be like out there? And he said, look, farmers sow their crops on the 20th of March. That's when it's going to rain.
Yeah, I mean, the big answer I kept getting yesterday was nobody's got a clue, because, I mean,
clearly a man who's got his attention and ears well open.
We are going to head back to the studio here in the Service Park for a moment and rejoin Kiri.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks so much. Bex Williams and Paul King will be coming back and forth between those two. Now, what Bex was just talking about, in fact, is the farmers sowing their crops. And yesterday I was up at Shakedown, and exactly what was going on. The farmers were sowing their crops. It was very timely. She sent a message saying what had happened with the interview with Carl Tundo. And as I turned around to my right, all the farmers were sowing their crops. So it is a fantastic scene. She just mentioned also that it's back to its original dates, and two things: original date, but also the fans here. The fans here are like nothing we've ever seen.
No, they absolutely love the rally. They're so passionate, aren't they? And you know, wherever you go, I mean, last year I was lucky enough to go out to the stages, and the roads were just lined with fans, so excited, not just to see the cars, but us as well. It was just very, very nice. And you know, as I said, they're very, very, very passionate. You can just see Nicholas Seaman coming up onto the start ramp there, and we just saw Carl Tundo leaving as well. And just going back to the weather as well, Kiri, the rally has been moved back to its traditional date, and And as you say, it's rainy season. Whether or not that rain will come or not, I don't know, but I certainly hope we're going to see a little bit of it, because it'll throw it into the mix, won't it?
Today's a little bit more ominous. Yesterday was boiling sunshine. You know, when you were talking about it, I think at some point where it's got to break, but today is cooler. Now, Nicholas Seaman, just going over the start ramp, had a bit of a shaky start to shake down yesterday. Just a small incident by clipping a tree, but he's ready to start his campaign. This is the opening ceremony for Safari Rally Kenya 2024. The media, the fans, the flags, they're all out in full force. Yeah, it's quite unpredictable, this rally.
Yeah, and as you say, Nicholas, you know, coming unstuck yesterday, just taking the front right off the car, you know, just very little ominous little tree stump, bang, and it just took the wheel off, and that was the end of his shakedown. The guys obviously sorted that out, and he's out again. But already a lesson learned at this Safari rally. It is very, very tough, no question. I mean, we heard the driver saying it before. It is the toughest rally on the calendar, and it is about getting that balance right between driving quickly and leaning on the car, but not breaking it. And you know, we've seen in the past lots of drivers we see Gus Greensmith up on the start ramp as well.
I think we can hear from Julian now. Well, there we go. I think things to take away from that is Julian Porter's hat, more importantly. We will also see time to time Adrian Fulmo's Safari hat as well. But Julian, that is an impressive hat. That is Julian Porter down on the start ramp, Gus Greensmith back into the WRC2 campaign. He's been here obviously in the WRC category, in the P1 category, but slightly different with these smaller cars, isn't it?
Yeah, look, and it's great that Gus is back. His championship starts here, doesn't it? So he's had a brilliant test, pre-event test, coming into this event. I think, you know, there's a little bit of pressure on his shoulders because, as I said, it is a very, very tough place to come and start your year. Yeah. You know, Oliver's already been out. We obviously saw him in Monte Carlo and in Sweden. So any rust that had developed over the Christmas period is well knocked off. But Gus is in a good place. He's mentally very, very strong, and he knows, as you said, he's been here before. He knows how to drive this rally, how to look after the car, and how to get a result. So yeah, look, it'll be interesting to see what Gus can do. He's just got to temper that desire to go for the win, or to go. He needs points. That's it. That's what he's looking for now, because he's got a long year ahead of him.
Points win prizes, and this is a very difficult place to accumulate those points. We keep seeing the shots of the media because this is such a media frenzy down here. Now we are rejoining Bex Williams and Paul King to take us through that start.
All right.
Thank you very much, Kiri. Yeah, it is fantastic to see these cars in such an iconic location in Nairobi, and this is the anticipation really now building up to stage one, which is coming up very shortly. PK and Chenny are going to be commentating on that for you. But we welcome over the start ramp now Jordan Serdaridis. We know how much he loves the challenge of the Safari Rally. 7th position here back in 2022. Let's see if we can get a couple of words with Jordan. He's just about to get out of his car, have a chat with Julian Porter.
A little more fast-paced event, Jordan. Welcome back to Kenya. A round of applause for you.
Last season, when you did reach your last rally at top level, all of Africa has brought you back in Rally 1, hasn't it?
It's the best to finish the career here. So, voila.
What are you hoping for this weekend?
The fun, maximum fun. Finish the rally and maybe a top 10.
How difficult is it out there?
If it's raining, it will be one of the most difficult rally of the season.
Exciting.
Of course, it's exciting.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Of course, exciting. He does love a challenge, PK, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was just going to say he does love this place. I thought we'd seen the last of him this year, but
like you said, he thought he'd rounded off here.
Back. Yeah, absolutely. I bet we'll be seeing him back at the Acropolis again. Would not be surprised in a few months' time. But yeah, it's great to see him back. And of course, that means we have three
with the next car. That was Jordan
Sports Pumas competing this weekend. Starting with the next man we're going to see.
Ford World Rally team in the Rally 1 category. And up next is Gregoire.
Yep, Gregoire Munster is next
Julian
up.
Gregoire was here again also last year, sitting together with Jordan.
Become a bit of a family affair, of course, for the Munsters this weekend, with younger brother competing as well this
Charles
weekend.
Munster.
Charles Munster, 2 years younger, I believe. I spoke to both of them yesterday. They do look alike. It is quite uncanny. And I think Gregoire said afterwards, after I spoke to him. I'm sure he said something about they played tricks on the M Sport mechanics by changing their outfits sometimes to see if they noticed. But yeah, not twins, it's a couple of years apart. But yeah, wonderful to see. I think they brought the whole family out here this weekend.
They do have quite, well, certainly Charles has got a good amount of rally experience under his belt, but it's all within, with France, Belgium, and at home. Charles has done about 60 rallies. But let's hear from Gregoire then. Julian just talking there about the fact that they were up at the Masai Mara on the weekend previous, exploring exactly what the Safari Rally or the Safari itself has to offer. Let's find out how Gregoire is feeling then ahead of the biggest challenge on the championship calendar.
Slide could be a very good word this weekend, I think. How demanding do you think it's going to be out there? I think it's going to be really even. It always is, actually, demanding for the cars. Even though drivers, but this is really very even more. So don't know exactly what to expect, but
worse in terms of condition, better in terms of fun, if we keep it on the road.
We were on the safari with you and we had a lot of rain on there. You've got some idea of how slippy these roads get now, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. We had the rain on the first day of Ricky, on the second one in the afternoon as well, and when it rains it pours, so it's really a tricky one, but we're ready for it.
Good luck, good luck.
Yeah, the rain transforms everything here. We've seen that over the past few years. The Sleeping Warrior stage in particular, I don't know why, but that seems to attract the rain. But it does turn the surface into an ice rink.
Yeah, and it happens in an instant. We were out, took Kiri on our traditional safari evening one last night, and we didn't actually get rained on, but you could see lightning in the distance, and there was a huge storm on, I don't think it was Sleeping Warrior, but one of the other mountains just down the road here, very close to, I think, the geothermal stage. And here's another man who'll be very keen to see what he can do this weekend.
It's unbelievable standing next to these machines here.
Julian just talking about the Toyota snorkel there, which does look very impressive. Another new addition for this year.
Finished second last year, and definitely a very big honor to have him back in Kenya. Hopefully looking to do a podium once again with Toyota. And I'll let Julian have a chat with him.
Excitement ahead of every rally, but Safari Rally Kenya, is it just that little bit more excitement, that bit more buzz?
Yeah, of course, it's a different one. You don't really know what's going to happen. It's really difficult to predict anything, so for sure it's more exciting like anything else. So it's not easy rally to start with.
You've had a demanding recce. What are you expecting out on the stages?
Quite rough condition this year, maybe even more rough than last year, so definitely going to be tough for the cars and the tires, also for the drivers, so I think we really need to try to survive well without issues, and that will be the key, hopefully, to a good result.
Thank you very much and good luck.
I think expect the unexpected should be the tagline here, shouldn't it? Callie said yesterday at the end of Shakedown he has no expectations for this event, because coming into it with expectations, you're going to fall foul because no one can predict what's going to happen. That snorkel looks pretty incredible, doesn't it? And it's great to see the snorkels back. I think that for the fans out there, when we first came back to Kenya in 21, everyone was asking, where are the snorkels? They were disappointed. Hopefully, everyone, you are now delighted by the fact that the snorkels, fashioned in different ways than maybe what we've seen before, are back.
Yeah, I mean, that Toyota one, it really is something, isn't it? I mean, sometimes they literally just have a vent, don't they, at the top of the window there, but Toyota with the whole thing snaking right across the top of the car. As you say, the three teams are all very uniquely different. Here's a man who knows how to drive on these stages, Taka Katsuta.
Absolutely. 2 podiums in the past in Kenya, and he loves competing here. Let's hear from him with Julian.
Thank you very much, Taka. Lots of people out here watching and everything like that. There's a lot of drama potentially to come this weekend, but it's a rally that you just love. A couple of podiums, what's the targets?
Yeah, of course, I try to be on the podium again, but we're going to be big challenge for everybody, and it cannot be like optimistic. I mean, it will be big challenge anyway, so I need to be patient, and through the other stages, they will be good.
Everyone's saying about it being demanding and a challenge, but it's something that we all love, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to have this kind of very demanding rally. I mean, it's very tough for the drivers, co-drivers, of course, for the cars, so it's definitely need to be in the calendar like this kind of rally.
He wants to be in the calendar again. You want 5 days as well.
Yeah, right? That will be good. Will be good.
Wow, 5-day safari rally.
I mean,
Thought it was a challenge now.
I mean, back in the day, wasn't it? I mean, when I first came here, it really was. We've got entire stages where something like 150 to 200 kilometres. It really was something. I mean, it still looks very similar, but certainly not with the spotter helicopters and everything. It was. It really was. As Chenny sort of touched upon earlier, something closer to Dakar. It looks very similar, but certainly none of those epic distances. When we are technically over 5 days, we shakedown yesterday, and the super special stage in Nairobi coming up in a couple of hours' time. To the real action, though, tomorrow morning, all around Lake Navasha, where we are quite a spectacular part of the world. Now, here's the man of the moment.
Essa Kavalabi, navigated by Yane Pham, finishing 12th in last year's event, and it's good to have him back in the Safari Rally in the Hyundai i20 Rally 1 Hybrid.
EP, you're just saying they've done a good job. The rally's done a good job. You're expecting a lot of things. It's an amazing atmosphere, though, isn't it, out there?
Yeah, I mean, huge amount of people, and I guess on the stage 1 will be even more. So yeah, I think where we should be, close to the people, and they are interested. So this is where we should be.
And we need these kind of rallies on the agenda, don't we? Demanding, difficult, very different.
Yeah, exactly. We need very different. So we need a lot of variation in the championship. So this is definitely one of them which we need to keep in the calendar.
Okay, good luck.
We do need variation. He's so right. And this is going to be the ultimate challenge this weekend. Callie's already mentioned it. It's a bit rougher than it was last year. We could have really heavy downpours of rain, but that's what we need in the championship. It needs to be difficult. If it's easy, anyone could come along and do it.
Yeah,
that's why we have the best drivers in the whole world.
It's a combination of everything, isn't it? It's, as you say, the potential for those sudden rain showers. It's the drier stuff, the fesh. It's the rocks, it's the ruts, it's the heat, it's the dust. I mean, you put all that together in one package. I mean, it really is. Yeah, pretty much. I think endurance is probably the word to go. I mean, you basically can't win the rally by putting your foot hard to the floor from start to finish. You can on some events, and that's great. But we love these events too, when it's a thinking man's game, and you've got to know when you can push and when you need to back off, and that's the key out here in Kenya.
We've been asking on social media for your top threes, your podiums for this weekend. Gary Boyd says Takasan to win. He's putting all his money on Tanak second, Calais third. Coffee Kelvin says Calais to win, Oit in second, Elvin Evans in third. Jane says it's going to be an Esapeka Lappy win, 2 in a row. Tanak second, Calais third.
Here is Tanak now, the man who needs a good result. I mean, he's first to admit he's had a little bit of an underwhelming start.
It's been a bit of a demanding and tough start for you, but a reset in Kenya, one of the best rallies of the season. Anything can happen here, can't it?
Yeah, hard to say how it's going to be. Obviously, it's always a bit difficult to really expect anything from here. So, yeah, it will be all open for sure.
What are the conditions like out there, and what are you expecting condition-wise?
I mean, currently it's all nice and sunny and dry. So, but we know it's going to change quickly here.
Okay, thank you very much. Tanak, Martin Yarviova.
And it does change quickly. You mentioned that, didn't we? We're looking forward to the weekend massively. Stage 1 is coming up. So if you're doing anything right now, forget it. Put it aside. Save it till tomorrow, next week. Safari Rally Kenya is where you want to be for the whole weekend. We have absolutely no idea what's going to happen out there. So join us for the unexpectedness of it all.
Yeah, the drivers have no idea. The teams have no idea. We have no idea. Just a point to make, you'll notice that here they don't have the full snorkel on. They've got a package underneath the bonnet. They do have the option, I believe. There's, can't quite see here, there's a couple of holes on that door arch there that they can, if they need to, add another addition. So they've gone another way once again, and we saw the slightly fatter, slightly different style on the M Sport Puma as well. We'll talk with the devil. Here is another Puma just to show you what I was talking about.
Adrian Formo is heading towards us now. Got his first WRC podium back in Sweden. He's riding the crest of a wave of confidence right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite incredible what he's achieved so far. First podium, yeah, that was something else in Sweden.
And nicely as well, he picked up his first ever WRC stage win here at the Safari Rally.
Definitely
good point.
A good start for him this season. Julian?
Yeah, Adrian, obviously 6 weeks ago you scored your first ever podium. You're back in Kenya where you scored your first ever stage win at this level. Brings back happy memories?
Yeah, it was a really nice memory. It was in 21 in the Malewa stage, so I have some good memories in this rally. I really like the event, so I want to enjoy it.
And you're getting some insights from the recce. It's going to be tough, and you said particularly this stage that you were quickest in is quite demanding on Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday the stages are really rough. It wasn't full of mud, but it was really rough, like big rocky places. But I think the big day will be Saturday with the thunderstorm. So we'll see. We have seen in the wiki it was really tricky when it was the heavy rain. So first to see the road, but also to drive the car. So sometimes we're a bit like passengers. So we'll see.
What kind of strategy will see you on the podium this weekend?
Drive smart.
That's good enough for me. See you later.
Well, weatherman for Mo. It's going to have thunderstorm coming on Saturday then.
You know why he said that? Because Sleeping Warrior is on Saturday, and it always rains on Sleeping Warrior.
Yeah, it could well be a fruitful weekend for him. He's in that sort of good momentum, thinking man's event. Sorry, and it's I don't know. It could be back-to-back podiums. That's not a bad shout as well. Let's see what Formo can do this weekend. He's certainly gone well here previously. 5th place, 2021.
Up next, we have car number 33, and that is Elfyn Evans and Scott.
It is indeed Elfyn Evans then coming up next, second now in the championship.
Another driver who enjoyed a weekend of sightseeing on Safari.
Good to go, Julian.
Let's hear from him.
Yeah, Elfyn obviously been on podium here a couple of times. You've actually been here not far off a week as well now, sampling the whole of the Safari Rally Kenya experience. But what are the targets? What are the goals this weekend?
The goals are always the same, but going about them is a bit different here in Safari. Of course, we always want to try and win and do as well as possible, but of course here you need to try and use your judgment, to get through the rally without issues, and that's sometimes difficult to do and combine it with speed.
We've seen some very changeable conditions in the recce. What are you expecting weather-wise? Adrian Formo has just told us about Saturday, big thunderstorms. Do I need my raincoat?
Who knows? Who knows? There's a very good possibility we're going to see something at some point during the weekend, I would say. But yeah, we're going to have to just deal with that when it comes. But we know when it does come that it won't be easy.
With the size of your snorkel, you're fine up to about 2 or 3 foot.
Let's see about that.
Okay, good luck, Elfyn. Scott?
Yeah, they're hoping not to come across any big water out there, I'm sure. And it's Elfyn Evans then and Scott Martin. If you are just joining us, the ceremonial start of the Safari Rally Kenya. We are about to get underway with stage 1. It is a fantastic, super special stage, which PK and Chenny will be commentating across. So stay with us for that. Let us know what your 1, 2, 3 is for the weekend. We want to know where you're putting your money this weekend. Who's your man on the top step of the podium? I think it's a really tough challenge to call it, to be honest.
I mean, it's next to impossible, and we've all been chatting about it over the last couple of days. It always is impossible. I mean, there is the road sweeping effect, but not so important here with so many other obstacles. But this is the man who'll be first on the road tomorrow, Thierry Neuville. What a start to the season.
Navigated by Martin Vaidaga. Martin, good to see you. Welcome back to Kenya. Julian?
Yeah, just looking, Thierry, obviously I noticed we're all talking about the weather, the special cars for Kenya. The Hyundais have not got a snorkel on. Everyone else has. What do you know about that weather that we don't?
I know that today it's not raining, so... I mean, there's one stage straightforward. There will be not huge standing water, maybe a few puddles, but that's it.
You were with us earlier on in the weekend, sampling the Masai Mara. What have you made of the whole experience? Now you've seen a different part of it to the rally.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to discover new countries, new cultures, and to discover the wildlife over here. But now we are focused on our race and try to make the best out of it.
How tough will it be this weekend?
Yeah, it's hard to predict. I mean, we know already that the rally generally is very tough, very rough. And it didn't succeed us very well, but this year the weather also can be quite tricky, especially in the afternoon. So, yeah, we're going to find out.
Okay, good luck to Thierry Neuville and Martin Vaidaga.
As Julian mentioned there, they also had a bit of a safari experience at the weekend. You'll be able to see that. That's coming up shortly. The driver's safari experience at the Masai Mara, so stay tuned for that. Championship leader heading out there, and Julian referenced no snorkel on at the moment. That snorkel can come on and off the car whenever they want it to. There's no rain today for that super special, but interesting to see if we do get rain throughout the weekend. Us here in Navasha, we haven't actually seen any rain this week, but on Sunday there was biblical rain here and across the stages. I think maybe Monday across the stages as well, on certain stages.
Yeah, all remains to be seen. I mean, we can speculate as much as we want. Here's first of our, well, not first of our Rally 2 runners, of course. We had the
yeah,
but here's the championship leader, indeed, in Oliver Solberg. A bit under the weather, though. We spoke to him yesterday. Let's see how he's feeling now.
This young man, he is not a stranger to this sport. For those who've got their history well, maybe Julian can tell us a little bit about Peter Solberg did that to Oliver. Let's have a listen to Julian.
Yeah, Oliver, obviously your dad's been here before. You've been here before as well now. What is it like? What is so special about this event?
I mean, you know, the reason why we come back here every year is just, you know, the adventure and the cool, you know, story you can tell when you get home after you've been here. You know, it's just an incredible place to be and drive a rally car. You know, it's something we never experience otherwise in the championship. So it's just an incredible place to be.
How tough this weekend's going to be? You've done the recce. What can you give me on an insight?
For sure, it's looking tricky, you know, but some parts looks quite nice, to be honest, and some parts, of course, looks a bit rougher than other years. But it's a much longer rally this year as well, so it's going to be a big challenge. But we are ready, and we're looking forward to it, so it's going to be cool.
Yesterday evening, you were at the launching of a rally school in Kenya. How important is that kind of activity as well?
Oh, it was great fun to be there, to be honest. It's such a great initiative that they've done to start this program and to have like a motorsport program for young kids to have a chance and to come up from Kenya and to be hopefully, you know, in a World Rally Championship in the future maybe or something like that. So I think it's a great initiative, and it was fantastic to be there to see it and meet all the passionate kids and try to inspire a little bit, to be honest, and also, yeah, talking with them and sharing passion.
Okay, Elliot's watching. We'll let you get away.
Okay, that's an interesting little initiative then that Oliver's been up to. Not all of them, just out there having fun watching the animals. That's good to hear. Yeah, let's see what Oliver can do to back up that win on home soil. Good entry list again, isn't it, for WRC2 this weekend?
Yeah, and I think we've got a real flavour of people who can get on the top step of the podium here. Obviously, Oliver being one of them, and you've got Kaito Kaitanovic then, who has won this event twice. He's looking for the hat trick of wins here at Safari Rally. And I remember what Kaito said last year. Actually, let's ditch that. We'll go straight to Julian, who's going to talk to him this year.
It's their first rally of this season as well in WRC2. Maciek just checking his time. Kaito obviously must bring back happy memories coming here, winners of WRC2 last year. How different is it at this time of the year now?
It's always different rally, even in the same stage, year by year looks completely different. On the straight road you can finish the rally. The stages are, we spoke a couple of minutes ago, it's unpredictable completely. You never know, you need to be focused, so it's completely new rally.
But you're looking forward to it. You got a smile on your face when you're talking about it, though.
Yes, of course, because I love sitting in this car. I love fighting. I love fight. I love this atmosphere. I love rallies, but this is very difficult rally in front of us. We need to try balance. We need to try find a compromise.
Okay, the smartest way might be the best way.
All right, thank you so much, Julian.
Yeah, Kaito said last year his mother had called him before he started the rally to say, let Solberg go. Let Solberg go and do his thing. You just look after yourself. Let him do his thing. Yeah. And that's what Kaito did. That was the strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Oliver's he's been here 3 years. He's had a bit of bad luck over the years. Not always, sometimes in a Rally 1 car, of course. And but yeah, last year, or a couple of years ago, second place. But he's had a bit of bad luck as Oliver here. But Kaito playing it very sensibly. Now we do go to Munster junior. And his WRC debut, no less.
What an event as a debut,
I
huh?
said to him yesterday, yeah, incredible.
Real local flavour to this car, Charles. Safari Rally Kenya, your first time here, and you have gone local. Just tell me a bit about the inspiration of this car.
To be honest, we are here except just from the guys that help us in the local people. We try to manage to have some support, and here are all on the car. You can see it's nearly just locals. They help us from hotel to water, service, everything, and without them we will not be there, so thanks to them.
Your first experience at World Championship level, what have you made of the whole extravaganza so far?
It's for the first one, it's quite an experience. Ricky were tough, with the rain even more. We are expecting some rain also, so it will be even more rough, but I think we will enjoy it and we will have a lot of fun.
Okay, enjoy yourself. Good luck this weekend.
And you can all see what I mean about very much his
thank you very much,
family
Julian.
resemblance of his brother. They're both very tall chaps as well. Well, what a wonderful family affair for both of them. Not putting too many expectations on himself this weekend, as you sensibly shouldn't on a WRC debut, and as you say, Bex, on an event like this. So he's very sensible head on his shoulders too. So it'll be really interesting to see what he can do. And what an opportunity to be able to test yourself against, Oliver Solberg and Gus Greensmith, these sort of guys.
I'm keen to see what he can do out there. Back to our 1, 2, 3s then. Mika is saying Rovanperä to win. I'd love for Taka to beat Kalle, but can't see it happening. Taka second, Tanak third. TS is putting Kalle on the top step. Evans second, Taka third. Planet Marcus has gone with a Newville win with Kalle Rovanperä second, Esa-Pekka Lappi in third. Let's cross out now then and hear from
It's good to have
Diego Dominguez.
But Rosalind will be taking up the flag in a short while. I can also see Toyota.
Diego's already done the Arctic Rally this year. He retired, unfortunately, from the Swedish Rally. He's been competing in Paraguay. Been a busy man.
Which guy is in front. Good to have you here.
Just going to grab a quick word with Diego.
Oh, yes, Julian, over to you, sorry.
Diego, I've seen you many times in a Ford Fiesta Rally 3. This is new. This is the first-time experience in WRC2. What's it been like so far, and what are your expectations?
Well, first of all, hi to everyone, and yes, this is our first time in a Rally 2 in the WRC, so yeah, for sure it's going to be very different than the Fiesta Rally 3 we've been driving previously, and yeah, for sure it's going to be easier for the car to get through, but definitely not easy at the same time.
Looking forward to it, though. You won here your category last year, so you have experience.
I do have a vague idea of what to do, but it's very unpredictable, this rally. You never know what to expect, and this year with the rain, it's even more unexpected or unpredictable than last year. So it's gonna be very difficult.
Okay, good luck. First stage coming up.
It is great to see him step up.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to double check. He has driven
Mr.
Rally 2 cars before, but not at the sort of WRC level, just in national events. So it's a real good challenge for him now, isn't it? And great to see him step up. As Julian said, he's been, we've seen him in that Rally 3 Fiesta a number of times now, haven't we? And sometimes a bit of a lonely WRC 3 entrant, but he's got a big challenge there this weekend. There's 13 entrants, hasn't there, in total, I think, this year in the WRC 2 here in Kenya.
Good to have you here.
Great to see.
And on the podium right now,
a lot of people asking what time the Super Special is going live. It's at 2:05 local time here, so in just over an hour's time, the first stage of the event will be live.
We don't do paint schemes anymore.
It looks amazing, isn't it, Julian?
It does look amazing. Daniel, you can't stay away from Safari Rally, can you? You love it every time you come here. Just tell me what we're in for this week.
I couldn't wait. I'm really happy to be here again, and with these new conditions, I think there will be new conditions, and we'll really look forward for the 3 days, hopefully with no problems and straight to the finish.
I did ask you about it yesterday, but for the people who are here, just tell me what inspired this livery.
We had to do something which is close to the country, close to the nature. So we thought about something like this, and I hope we love it. So I hope everybody also does.
Brilliant. Okay, get yourself ready. Stage one is coming up.
I definitely love it.
Does look great. It's
I mean,
almost
you can see it here, obviously from the front to side. It's just that, you know, that safari vista. It's so different. It looks spectacular on the car. And yeah, it's a lovely nod to, you know, the country he's in right now. We've seen a lot of that reflected. You mentioned, or Chenny's mentioned, or you mentioned, I can't remember, Thierry Neuville's helmet as well. The artwork on that helmet is just spectacular from a local artist.
I think she got a ride in the car yesterday.
She did.
Yeah, I saw her.
She looked like she really enjoyed it.
Yes, they always do. We had a wonderful stuff yesterday with the team bosses all getting a drive as well alongside some of their drivers. That was fun to watch yesterday. So yeah, it's 2 Polish entrants in WRC2 then, with Daniel joining Kaito this weekend.
We've got a total of 9 Kenya National Rally Championship cars that are happening, and off they go. Daniel Twist.
Those team boss rides PK just mentioned, we'll be able to have a look at those shortly. Cyril Levitable, Jari-Matti Latvala and Rich Milliner getting a taste of the co-driving seat. And
some enjoyed it, some I think were just absolutely terrified. I won't say who was who, but
I can guarantee it. I mean, and Adrian Formeau confirmed it, that he did go that little extra harder
I bet he did.
when Rich Milner was alongside
I've
him.
definitely seen a shot of him up on 2 wheels. Anyway, another local driver.
Good to have you, and it's really an impressive turn of events for you. I know you've been watching rally from the sidelines, but right now, as a family, you're passionate about rallying. But now you are in the driver's seat, winning in Eldoret last time out at the beginning of the season. Was that good enough to pump you to, you know, get a good run in the safari?
I mean, it was just the start of the season, so nothing to get too excited about. The season is still a long way away. We're just aiming to keep building our experience, get it to the end, and, you know, at the end of the year, hopefully win the Kenya National Championship.
You're joining a big league of Kenyan top rally drivers. You're making a name for yourself. How is that going, and what's your plan moving forward with the season?
I think bigger than for myself, I think this name is for my father. I do this sport for him, and I'd like to keep his legacy alive, and I'll try and do it to the best of my ability. This is for him.
And you're sitting with a very experienced navigator, Alfir Khan, hiding behind those sunglasses. Alfir, does he listen to you? He is, and that's why he's performing so well. Well done, guys, and congratulations. Wishing you all the best and good luck. Alfir Khan navigating Saman
Well, he certainly must listen to him, because, as Eddie mentioned there, they had a win at the Eldoret Rally to start the season. But what a mature attitude, you know. It's just the start of the season. He's focused and comes here again to the Safari Rally. He was here last year competing in WRC2. Took 6th position overall, but that was with the help of a restart as well. But still early on in his rally career.
And this is what we love about WRC2, isn't it? A lot of these sort of national drivers get the chance to come and test their mettle against some of the best drivers, certainly at WRC2 level on the planet. It's another car with a pretty spectacular livery.
And that is Akif Virani and Zahir Shah. No strangers to the top level rallying in Kenya.
Might be losing that car in some of the taller grass over the weekend.
And now we have Nick Kamunyo, who is the representative of Safaricom, who are heavily involved with the Safari Rally. And I'm told they've got a couple of technological initiatives that have been installed in some of these cars
that will help
in the advancement and the development.
There's quite a number of actually the Kenyan drivers. This is now their first event of the season.
You might have to step out of the car, or you don't want to step out of the car.
And for some of our competitors as well in WRC2, it's the first time they're getting behind the wheel.
For our next driver on the stage, Akif Virani, Zahir Shah. Akif, no stranger to Kenyan motorsport scene and of course Safari Rally, and also a former motorsport personality of the year. You're coming here with very big accolades. How is this one for you, and how are you looking forward to it?
This one's a bit tricky, a lot of competition, and let's see how it goes, yeah.
You've had an amazing run so far in your rallying career. Where do you place this year's Safari Rally? You've done the recce. I mean, it's always an unpredictable event. With the recce, what are you seeing ahead of you?
I think Sleeping Warrior, yeah, that's the challenge. That everything else seems okay, but just Sleeping Warrior.
Fantastic. Wishing you all the best. Akif Virani, all the best to you and the team.
Sounds like, as you said,
together
they're
with Zahir Shah,
losing some sleep, looking forward to that one, Bex, aren't they, over the next couple of days? Because that
first one of the weekend.
Oh, there's plenty more where that came from.
Yeah, Sleeping Warrior, if you've watched the Safari Rally with us over the past few years, you'll know why it's feared. It's because of the very nature of the stage itself.
The local drivers
Also,
in the World
the
Rally
rain
Championship
as
is
well.
something
But that's where
unique.
we've seen most
We're
of the
rallying
rain.
it as a
And it's
complete
36
privateer, amateur
kilometres
driver,
this
whatever you
year.
want to call yourself, that
Yeah, I
you
think Oliver
can
touched upon it, didn't he, a
enter
little moment ago? It's a longer
world-class event and
route this
compete
year,
with
really
world
long Sunday
champions,
as well. I think there's
you
5
can't do in,
stages
I don't think really any
on
other
Sunday.
sport. There probably is some, but I can't think of any. As we wait
And that's
for
Akif
our
leaving
next car
the stage and heading
up onto
towards the
ramp,
super
and
special.
we'll,
The next car
at
coming from
Kasarani.
Motorsports personality. That was an interesting
Skoda,
stat
car
about him
number
there.
31.
Good to see a good
Miguel
contingent of the local
Boitis
guys.
and
We're
Diego
switching
San
to
Juan.
Spain now, though.
Yeah, let's
Miguel
just
Diaz,
go a quick word
Boitis.
with Miguel. Second time here. We're going to stand you this way so we can see. Hi, Miguel. How are you doing? You ready?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, well, as ready as can be.
What, you've been here before, but what is it the challenge like, particularly in the cars further down the order after those big Rally 1 cars have come? How demanding is it?
Well, I believe, in my opinion, I don't have much experience, only 1 year. But I believe there's less difference than on other events because one of the DNA of this rally is that the roads are really tough. So no matter how much they destroy it, they hardly can get any tougher. So, in my opinion, it's the event in which it's the surface is more regular as cars pass by. My opinion, which is probably wrong.
Well, you're here, you're going to enjoy yourself. Get yourself strapped in. Stage 1 coming up.
Again, excuse me?
Stage 1 is coming up. Lots of people.
Yes, it was beautiful last year. This looked fantastic today. So I hope it will be the same when we arrive there. And I would like to thank everybody here involved, from government, department of whatever, the people that cleans the toilets. Everyone is important. Thank you to all of them because they allow us to be here playing.
Yes, congratulations on that. Well done. And get
Good
yourself ready
words
for
from
stage
Miguel
1.
Diaz.
Right,
It's his first rally of the
Dario to
season
stand
with
by
us as
for
well.
the
We
next
see him
car.
compete
Thank you
obviously
very
within
much, Nick.
WRC2,
After
within the
flagging off
Masters Cup of WRC2,
Our
which
winner
is a
real, the
fiercely
MDC
competitive battle
Isn't it
that we've
just?
noted over the past 2 years.
Great analysis actually there as well of the way the road surface does or doesn't in this case deteriorate. As well, I was touching upon a bit earlier that whole road sweeping thing. Yes, it's a bit of a factor in some stages, but the roads are so generally tough. It is a bit of a more of an open playing field.
As always, you absolutely love all of your rallying. Come back to Kenya again. It's special, isn't it?
It's Kenya is always special. The people, the warmth you feel with the people here. The country is beautiful. It's an adventure.
It is an adventure, and it's a very, very challenging adventure. Those stages, you've been out and done the recce. Just give me a little insight of what we're in store for.
I was looking at the countryside and the animals and the people more than looking at the stages. So it's a beautiful country. You cannot avoid the scenery and all that. I mean, before Sleeping Warrior, you start the recce and you see the mountain. You just pause. It's with awe. It's amazing.
Good luck, Tom. I think you're going to need it. He hasn't listened to anything you've told him so far. Georgios, go and enjoy it. And listen to
sounds
him.
like his co-driver, Tom, is... he might have some nice notes on where the best views are, but maybe not so good on the best.
It's just like hands in the air. What?
Yeah, it's just going to say, it is wonderful, isn't it? You do tend to see the same guys coming back year after year because
Yeah, he was here
they
last
love it
year.
so much, yeah.
Gotta go.
He's
Stage 1, Georges, off you go.
got a stage to do. Stop enjoying the view.
He competed in the Malcolm Wilson rally earlier this year as well. He is such a character, as you can well hear there.
He's not wrong, though. There are pretty spectacular view. I think I drove past the actual mountain range in the distance. It's a very distinctive. It's got that name, Sleeping Warrior, because it literally looks like a Sleeping Warrior. Here's our one WRC3 entrant then, Bex.
Yeah, Hamza Anwar, who we saw in the Junior Championship last year, of course.
Is a young man who has proved that he's definitely got a future in this sport. Hamza, you've rallied at the highest level globally in the junior WRC. You've kept the fire blazing, and it seems nothing is going to stop you. What's your going power?
God is my going power, my country, the support I have from Mr. President and Ababu and the promoter and from everyone. Thank you very much. This has been a inspiring and a beautiful journey, and it's only begun.
And it looks like Safaricom also loves you so much, like corporates that are looking to embrace people who've got some value and they're putting in their best effort in performing in the world of sports.
Definitely. Thank you to Safaricom, the best network out there, and Kenya Airways, the pride of Africa.
How tough was the recce, and are you seeing a potential for a podium? I know it's good to dream, but some dreams are valid.
It's a new car, so we're looking forward to just getting it to the end for now. But you know me, I'm going to try my best, and we'll try and see what we can do.
Wishing you all the best. Hamza Anwar together with Yassin Nasser.
Yeah, nice words from Hamza Anwar. Then his first event of the season. Like I said, he did a lot of events at home last year, as well as the Junior Championship.
Lined up to support this young man.
Keen to get a good result at Safari Rally. Okay, that completes then our commentary over the ceremonial start. We're heading back out into the service area now to catch up with Kiri.
Well done. Together with you, navigator.
Indeed, we are out in the service area. As Bex was telling you, the stage will start very shortly. We've probably got about half an hour or so until that comes. Check your clocks all around the world, because obviously different time zones. I managed to say it this time as well.
Nailed it. Nailed it, Kiri.
It's been about 4 weeks of practice. Anyway, so we were just listening to all of the drivers talking about it. I mean, it is a rally of attrition. That's basically what you can deem from that.
Yes, you know, there's some events we can go to where we can kind of go, oh, you put your money on this guy, you can't here. You know, you know, the guy said it, expect the unexpected, and that's what it is. And I think we have to keep our eye on, if we're going to start picking stages, the Kadong stage, 31 kilometres, and then, you know, we heard a lot of the drivers talking about Sleeping Warriors. They were coming over the start ramp. I think that always throws up some drama, doesn't it? And actually, speaking of the start ramp, I do want to say Sean Carter-Villis would have been on the start ramp with Julian Porter asking the questions, and sadly he passed away last year. He played a massive part in the Safari Rally Kenya and in motorsport in general, so we're all thinking of Sean and his family this weekend.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Well, as you were talking about, Adrian Formo has turned into a weatherman. And as you were talking about Sleeping Warrior, he is dead certain that the rain is going to come then. So if it doesn't, you know who to blame. But we do think the rain's... It's such weird weather, because yesterday and the day before, it was very much rain is coming at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Rain came a couple of days before, but today it's cold, it's windy. Could the rain come? That's going to be the question everyone's asking.
And it's localised as well. Sometimes you'll, you know, in a 20-30 kilometre stage, you might only get 5 or 6 kilometres that are absolutely drenched, and we get that thick, slippery mud, and people just losing so much time. So it's very, very localised as well, and it just pops up out of nowhere, doesn't it? So yeah, it's very, very hard to predict. I wouldn't want to be a weatherman here, but that's working for the crews.
Okay, well, the stage is coming up. It's in Nairobi. They will be side by side. It is going to be a classic, a one to watch. But before they got to that stage, they did Shakedown yesterday. So let's take a look at what went on there. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about Kalle Rothenpera first of all. I thought we were going to have a look at the clips, but actually what we're going to do is talk about it, because he was impressive. He is well worth talking about, isn't he?
Yeah, look, Kalle did a great job, didn't he? He's obviously won the rally before. There's not so much that you can read into Shakedown here as well, because it is so unique, isn't it? And, you know, you don't necessarily have to really lean on the car too much, but Kalle quickest through. And the top 3 or 4 were only separated by a few tenths as well. You know, there was nothing to choose between them. So
and also,
yeah.
I was just thinking about it, talking about Thierry at the end of the stage. She was just like, I'm just getting used to this condition. So Shakedown was all about that. I know Kalle, like you said, went through fastest, but everybody was just getting ready for what's to come, basically.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to replicate these conditions when in a test, you know. So I think a lot of the drivers were jumping in it for the first time, going out in Shakedown and going, this is what it's like, okay, and they do start to get a feel for it. And so it is a slightly different Shakedown from what we see on other rallies as well, Kiri.
Well, Oliver Solberg found out that Safari Rally can bite. It wasn't too bad. He got away with it. And yeah, we both said it. The bar at the front, it did its job.
Yeah, this is a little bit of extra protection. We can see here Oliver Solberg just out-braking himself as he's coming down the hill.
That shot, amazing.
And yeah, he just out-braked himself, hit the bump, that kind of earth mound. That he lost the bumper and everything else. But the bull bars, that extra protection along the front, protected all of the cooling system. Hopefully, we'll see Oliver come into shot here, and you'll be able to see that the front of that car is a bit of a mess, but the vitals, the mechanical vitals, were all good. Yeah, just that extra protection working. But it's so easy when you're going downhill to outbrake yourself because
there you go. There's a big old dent right in the front there.
Everything behind that bar is okay, so it did its job, and as I said, those extra protection is so important here in Kenya. But again, a good example of how difficult it is to get caught out here. He was just coming down the hill, the car scrabbling. It's not biting into the ground, just scrabbling on the surface. Couldn't get it stopped, and a bit of a bang.
I think we might expect plenty more of those moments throughout the weekend. Okay, well, as we are heading into the first stage, we better just recap where the drivers are at the moment. It is already close at the top. So Thierry Neuville is leading our points for the moment, but it is Elfyn Evans just 3 points behind now because of that sterling performance in Sweden. Adrian Formeau now sits in third, Ogier in fourth, Oitanak in fifth, Sepeka Lappi in sixth, Taka in seventh, Kalle Rothenperä in eighth, Oliver Solberg and Sami Pajari round out our top 10 there. But where we're looking as at Thierry and Elfyn, this will be, I think, where someone may separate from the others, because the 3-point gap is really not huge at the moment. Interestingly enough, though, it's Hyundai and Toyota tied with 87 points, M Sport with 47. So it is so tight at the top there between those two manufacturers. Well, talking about manufacturers, yesterday through Shakedown, our team principals got a co-driver ride. It was very, very funny to see them at the end of the stage end. So take a look at this.
Baby, you look down for the show. Back, Biggie, yo. Baby, you back, Biggie, yo. Turn it left, turn it right.
Looking forward to it?
Opportunity to ride in the top level rally cars, the best ones we've ever had. You're not going to say no, are you?
You know the drivers don't like to be co-drivers.
3 team principals in front of me. You look really smart. What's going on? What are you doing?
We don't look smart usually. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. The first moment, the first start, when you go, be prepared. I can tell you that's an amazing feeling when the car starts from the zero.
So, what are your expectations of this?
Enjoy it, and get a feel for what the guys are capable of doing. Because at the same time, we are managers, but we are also ambassadors and spokesmen for what these guys are capable of doing.
I would like to know, Yari, are you going to be able to refrain from telling Elfyn where he needs to go a bit quicker?
Let's see. I will see how it comes with the flow, but I can monitor his driving very carefully, and then I can. If I feel we go slow, then I will say, go faster. Show me what you got.
Bloody hell, this car is great. Oh, well done. Ah, nice line. Oh, little touch, okay. That's going to be fine, don't worry. Great job, Elfyn.
I have the old feeling, I used to drive fast, but I can't do that what he's doing now. I mean, the confidence, the commitment, the performance of the car, having all that together, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, ooh.
That's beyond imagination. That's only what I get. I simply don't get how they can only see watch the road coming, watch the corner coming. I mean, that's mind-blowing. I've been doing some stuff in my life. I've been very privileged to do some amazing stuff, but that's just another level.
You're all right.
That is absolutely insane. These cars are unbelievable. The speed and the power and everything they are mega. Anyone gets a chance to do this, they should do it. I'm so lucky to do that. That was so much fun.
So guys,
You will go first because you have never been in the car.
I'm full of questions. Why? Why is the first question? Why? How on earth you think you are never going to make it? I mean, either you or the car or something.
When they come back and say we've broken the car, I know why.
What were you thinking?
What do you expect? We can't make a miracle here. But the crazy bit is, if you don't push that hard, you're not fast enough.
No.
You can't describe it, can you?
No. No, and that's really the thing. That's the thing. I mean, okay, we are three stupid guys. We are in the middle of the sport, but show a little bit of that experience, that crazy feeling that we've been having.
Yes.
That's something that is totally unique in the world.
Exactly.
Well, at the stage end, Rich was calm, Cyril was terrified, and Jari was just in happiness once again, just to be in a car of any sort.
Rich looked calm. He wasn't. He was terrified. Do you know, Adrian Formeau actually had a proper dig through there. That was the quickest they went through the shakedown stages when Rich was sat beside him. So Adrian was determined to get his own back for all the stick that Rich Milner's been giving him over the years. That was great. It was a great little piece, yeah.
So much fun for them. Well, so much fun was had before this weekend got started as well. Some of our drivers went out on an incredible safari experience with Julian Porter. Take a look at this.
Thank you. Perfect.
Vous avez perdu.
As we continue driving, I'll keep on briefing you about the area. Masai Mara means spotted land.
I saw elephants.
Wanna see who is the boss? Okay.
Elephants.
Elephant is the biggest terrestrial animal in the world.
The heaviest.
So
Buffaloes.
Oh, wait.
Right.
Oh, that's wonderful, huh? You eat more carrots, huh? Right now we're going to look for where the lions are.
I see some.
You've seen?
Yeah.
Oh!
500 meters on the right.
Are you sure? It can be maybe a warthog or a hyena.
Right in front of you right now.
This is the animal which has been adapted to survive in such an environment because it can run more than Kenyan marathon runners.
Look.
Yeah, it's running now, it's running.
Yeah, that's a lion or something.
I think. Oh, wow. Two of them.
Like, oh yes, I can see.
Regarde. 8, 9, 10. There are minimum 20, 25. I'm sure this is going to be a kind of different experience here in the savannah and yeah, on top of all the animals. It seemed to be fun, yeah? There's a rhino.
Well spotted.
Beautiful.
Wow.
You can't be closer than this, huh?
Rabeli. So this area is called the Mara Triangle.
Looks cool, this other balloon. No?
Yeah, so a chance to ride in hot air balloon for the first time was quite a nice experience. Obviously, nice landscape, a few animals, so yeah, nice morning.
It was exciting. We saw 3 out of the big 5. And we saw elephants, so it was good.
You get used to it, it's quite calm actually, and you can really enjoy, get really close to the animals and very low, so it was impressive.
A magical place like no other here in Kenya. And that was all the calm, let's say, before the storm. You said the balloon looks quite peaceful. Yeah, those are all the moments that you savor and enjoy before they head out into these stages, which is, even for the best of them, slightly terrifying.
Yeah, like, it was just a nice thing to do, wasn't it? I think they all came out and went on safari. They arrived a few days early and just enjoyed themselves. And it's, as you said, it's a bit of downtime, but it is the complete opposite to what they're facing now. And getting the cars, and it's a very, very different experience, isn't it? And yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend. There's no question about it. So a nice way to ease themselves into it, should we say?
Yeah. Well, this is one to watch. This rally is one to watch. It is grueling. It's enduring. It is going to pan out over the next few days, and we're going to see who is the toughest, because it is so, so difficult, and it is so spectacular in so many ways. The backdrops. You went out on some of the stages. Hell's Gate, which is our Wolf Power stage. It's kind of a magical place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I've certainly never seen anything like it on planet Earth. It's a stunning place to come rallying. And we heard some of the guys saying as they were coming over the start ramp, I wasn't really paying attention during the recce. I was just looking at the wildlife, and maybe my notes aren't going to be quite as good as they should be. But you get sucked into the romance of it all. It's beautiful. It's a very, very special place.
This is one journey that you have to be with us for from start to finish. The first of the stages is coming up in around about 30 minutes or so at the moment. So make sure you join us for that. That's in Nairobi. That is sort of a street course as such. It's a bit of a show for the fans. It's side by side, but last year we even saw Calais had a little whoopsie on the first corner. Anything can happen through these sort of short, sharp, super special stages.
Yeah, we've seen it many times in the past, haven't we, Kiri? People getting caught out on these tricky little... the drivers refer to them as Mickey Mouse stages, but so many times people have been caught out. Matti Latvala famously back in 2009, I think, in Poland, and then we've seen Thierry Neuville getting caught out in Sweden, and then Kalirov and Pera very nearly sticking it on its roof like at the first corner here in Kenya. So yeah, it is a tricky stage, but a good way for the fans to be able to come and experience what the cars are doing, and it is a bit of a celebration of the rally before it really gets underway tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, so far we've seen team principals. That was fantastic to see them. It is just such an incredible experience. Everything about this rally you've really got to experience. So if you haven't already, you've got to get out to a rally, because when you're out on the stages, it's just amazing to see. And for those as well, the team principals, Cyril, for the first time in a car. I'm not sure I would have been brave enough for the first time to go in with Oit.
Well, that's maybe something we've got to arrange then, isn't it? I think. Have you actually been in one of these before, in a rally car?
No,
okay.
But I think yeah.
It's unbelievable. You can't put your brain in that experience without actually going and doing it. It's mind-blowing. And Cyril, that was real, that was genuine, that was a genuine reaction from all of those guys, and they're people who've been around motorsport all their life. It's very, very special. And as you said, if you can get to a rally, go and do it, because there's nothing like seeing a rally car come past you at 190 kilometres an hour on gravel sideways. It's a mind-blowing sport, and that's why we love it.
So let's just go through some of the differences here. So Kenya is so tough because of the ever-changing weather. Yes. It's so tough because of the fesh and the sand and the mud, but that means there's changes to the cars.
Yeah, the terrain in general. So, yeah, the cars will run a little bit higher. So they'll run a higher ride height because, again, we saw it in shakedown. There's lots of kickers. So, the cars will be bouncing around all over the place. If you're running them low, you'll damage the car. So they have to run them higher. But, of course, that affects the roll centre of the car, the way the car rolls, the way the car handles. So that makes it maybe a little bit trickier to drive. So yeah, a higher ride height. Tyres-wise, it's not particularly tough on tyres. Certainly if we do see a little bit of rain. So they've got 28 soft tyres to use and 8 hards. And previous years we've seen the drivers, the teams all going for the soft tyre. So I think this afternoon already for this first stage,
if you're wondering, everyone's running the softs. We just got that in. We get that information in just as soon as we can get that information. It's all a bit top secret beforehand, but we've got it in, haven't we?
The soft tyre will be the one that will be the predominant tyre used this weekend. And then, of course, there's the snorkel, which everyone's been talking about. And there's some trick systems on the cars as well. I think M Sport are using a system whereby the snorkel will always be on the car, but not necessarily being used. It's activated from inside the car by the co-driver. Yeah, so there's a little valve at the top of the airbox, and it just opens and closes as and when you want to use a snorkel.
The cue for the co-driver will be pouring rain, giant puddle.
Yeah, or fesh. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, you can't run the snorkel all the time. It's not for free. There's a performance disadvantage to running it when you don't need it. You do lose horsepower. You lose the ram effect of air gushing in through the front of the car. So when they don't need to use them, they won't be using them. And even though we can see them on the cars, they won't necessarily be using the snorkel.
OK, well, we heard Thierry saying he saw 3 of the big 5. Well, in fact, we've had our big 3 to start off at the season. Monte Carlo, Sweden, and now here at Safari Rally at Kenya. So that is how our calendar has panned out. We started, of course, in January, and it's been an incredible start to the season. So Monte, Sweden, Safari, but then where do we go after here? Well, we head to some of our old favourites, Croatia, Portugal, Sardinia. Then it's new for the calendar this year, Poland, Latvia, Finland, Greece, then back to Chile, and then Central Europe, which we absolutely love, the rally that crosses borders. And then we finish off in Japan. But how did we get to this point? Well, let's take a look at exactly what happened in Sweden.
Good things come to those who wait, and it's been some wait for Esa-Pekka Lappi and co-driver Janne Färm. A second WRC victory, more than 6 years since their first. Even their closest supporters were beginning to wonder if it would ever happen.
There was actually recently, Janne told me a couple of days ago, before we were even fighting for the win, that he is 6-year-old. We were visiting her friend, and then the dad of the friend was asking that Janne and Ibi gonna win, and then Janne's daughter said, they never win. so now I can say, yes, we do.
A victory to savour, at the same time strangely frustrating. Having established a comfortable lead as early as Saturday morning, Lappi's rally became a matter of race management rather than attack. More relief than joy by the time they reached Sunday's finish.
Yeah, definitely, because it's been very annoying to drive these 1.5 days slowly managing. I haven't really enjoyed the driving actually, because you are not really using the car correct way when you drive a bit slower. It's just in terms of driving, it's not so enjoyable, but after the finish line now I can start to enjoy, because I know the job is done. We've done what we are here for, and now I have a permission to enjoy.
Events swung in the Finns' favour pretty much from the start. Friday morning, the early departure of 2 pre-rally favourites. Hyundai teammate Ott Tänak into a snowbank in stage 4. The 2-time Sweden winner reduced to electric EV mode. Elsewhere in the stage, world champion and rally leader Kalle Rovanperä stopped. Telltale damage to the rear of his Yaris R1. 2 big hitters out by Friday lunchtime. Takamoto Katsuta winning the stage to assume the rally lead. Lappi in second, defilling in a Toyota sandwich ahead of third-placed Elvin Evans. The Finn nicely set for a podium on his first outing of the season.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's very clear. 2 favorites are out, and then we were already having some gap to Elfin, I think. Not a big gap, but a little gap. So for sure, this already was an indicator for me that, okay, podium is not easily done, but sort of very possible. And then, for sure, this Friday afternoon on these horrible conditions, when the gap started to be massive. Then it was very clear that, okay, now it's second or first place for us. And then it was just actually keeping own pace and wait what happens, and then it happened.
It being the departure of Takamoto Katsuta, locked in a fight with Lappi on Friday, trading the rally lead. The Finn with a 3.2 second advantage overnight. Katsuta reducing the gap to less than a second after Saturday's opening test, only to lose it in the next stage.
Oh no! No! Oh, that's Takamoto Katsuta and Aaron Johnson gone off the road.
Actually, I got the message already on the start line, so I knew it before I started the stage. And first reaction was that I'm sure I said that it's gonna be a long weekend. And I was not wrong. But that's how it is. For sure, I feel sorry for them, but on that moment you cannot really think about it. You know, you still need to keep your concentration. But yeah, it's just immediately we backed off and the strategy changed.
By Saturday lunchtime, Lappi's lead was well over a minute. Behind him, attention turned to the fight for the other podium places, led by M Sport's Adrian Formeau, impressing in the Puma R1, stage winner Saturday afternoon, ending the day in second, ahead of Elfyn Evans. Lappi still more than a minute out front, but knowing one stray drift into a snowbank could prove very costly. So having to resist a racer's instinct to test the limits going into Sunday's final loop, easier said than done.
It is very difficult. It was more about not to do the same mistake what the others did, that they lean on the bank, then they got the front in and it was done. And this is so easy to do, especially this year when the banks were really massive and they were hard and they were breaking the radiator or whatever. So I really backed off to not to touch the banks at all. And for sure it cost us a lot of time, but it was also very safe to do it. I wanted to play really safe.
Jätkä ei oo enää yksinkertainen. Kallalta ja Jonnalta terveiset, että sä maksat sitten ilta.
Safe, sensible, successful. Career win number 2 for Esa-Pekka Lappi and Janne Firm, just under 30 seconds ahead of Elfyn Evans. 3 manufacturers on the podium in Sweden, thanks to a career best third place from Frenchman Adrian Formeau. Sunday in Sweden offered a first real indicator of the impacts of the WRC's new scoring system, a chance to gain significant bonus points, which Elfyn Evans grabbed with both hands. The Welshman quickest overall through the 3 final stages to take 7 Super Sunday points, added to 4 more for second fastest through the power stage, all of which meant Evans left Sweden as the highest point scorer, 24 in total, 5 more than rally winner Lappi. Thierry Neuville also scoring well on Super Sunday, 8 bonus points, helping the Belgian retain his early lead in the Drivers' Championship. The Hyundai star on 48 points, 3 more than Evans. Formeau up to third thanks to his first WRC podium. But victory and the weekend in Sweden belonging to Esa-Pekka Lappi. 60 rallies, 4 team changes, a record 6 years and 204 days since that maiden win in Finland. It's been a long and lively rollercoaster ride to WRC win number 2.
In the end of 2020, when basically my career stopped, for sure in that moment it was very clear that if you're never gonna drive again with the WRC car, you will never win again. But yeah, things changed. Okay, then it was again possible. We were actually not too bad on 2022 last season. I'm sure everyone was thinking that we will never win, you know, especially on the last races where we crashed, you know, in a row. It was not even clear that if we're gonna continue. So there has been a couple of times the thinking that it will not happen again, but in the other hand, it hasn't been bothering me, you know. It doesn't change my life in the end at all. I will be the same fighter at home. Do I have the second win or third, or do I be a world champion? I'm still the same guy at home, and that's in the end what it matters. So yeah.
Wise words from our Winter Rally winner, WRC victory number 2, a second success of the season for Hyundai, but good points for Toyota, drawing level in the Manufacturers' Championship, tied on 87 points after the opening 2 rounds. M Sport Ford on 47.
Well, there we go. That was how we got here and how we got to such a close battle as we enter just round 3 of the 2024 season. Now it's 3 points separating Thierry and Elfyn. You were talking about this just a second ago. This weekend for those two is very important because if one makes a mistake and gets no points, the other can really run away with it. We've also got to look at Ott Tänak in this mix as well.
Yeah, I mean, just starting with Thierry and Elfyn, you're absolutely right, because if Elfyn has a shocker here, because of the unpredictability of the rally, you know, it's very easy to make a mistake or for something to go wrong. And then, you know, if Thierry were to build a lead here over Elfyn, it would make it difficult. And I think because this rally is so complex, there's the potential to see that happen.
Well, we saw it, didn't we, with Thierry in particular at 2021. He was just flying until Sunday, and then it all just went wrong for him there. So, you know, you can be in control of this rally right until the last throws, and it can change.
Absolutely. Both of those guys have to drive smart. They're not here. They don't have to win this rally. They've just got to pick up some points. And if that means 3rd or 4th, but getting to the end of the rally, bagging those points is way, way better for the current situation they're in the championship, because it is so close, than risking everything and ended up leaving with nothing.
And
so
then
they've got to be smart.
Ott comes into the game because this has not been the greatest start. He had a problem in Monty, a problem in Sweden, which has meant that he hasn't got the points haul. Of course, he's done some good power stage runs, which have given him some points, but this is where he needs to make the point of difference.
Absolutely. There is now a bit of pressure on Ott Tänak to start banging in some points, isn't there, Kiri?
And I think mentally as well, because, you know, he's moved back to Hyundai. We know how good he is. He knows how good he is. I think that's the point. He also needs to say, I'm justified in my position here at Hyundai.
Yeah, look, as I said, he's got to start scoring some points, not just for the championship, but for... If Thierry starts to back away, to run away with it, eventually there'll come a time when Cyril Abiteboul will have to favour one or the other. That will happen. And if Ott's slipping away and he's not keeping himself in the fight... That's
happened in the past, and it didn't make a comfortable team atmosphere.
Of course it won't. Of course it won't. So Cyril Abiteboul has to be, at the moment, has got to be keeping his eye on Thierry Neuville. But Ott Tänak has to have a strong result this weekend, because he is starting to slip away. It doesn't reflect his pace. It doesn't reflect the pace in the car. It just hasn't all come together for him. It will do, the pace is there, but it's a very, very important weekend for Ott Tänak this weekend. He needs to outscore Thierry Neuville. Fact.
I like that. Finish with fact.
Well, that's it.
Full stop, mic drop, I'm done. Okay, well, what is coming up this weekend? We have got a very, very busy weekend in terms of stages. So let's just give you an idea. Today is one stage. It's that super special down in Nairobi. They are going to be flying side by side. It's a spectacular view to watch, and something that'll be unfolding in front of your eyes in about half an hour's time. But Friday, it's 6 stages crammed in. Stage 2, 3 and 4. That's 8:15. These are local times with us, so check your calendar, check your clocks. And then it's 1:48 to repeat the afternoon loop, finishing up at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon with stage 7. In between, we'll be talking to the drivers in the media zone and giving you an idea, because remember, we've had some very dramatic services. Last year in particular showed us that the services are all important as well. Of course, seeing drivers working on their cars. Saturday is an awesome day in terms of kilometers. It's monster stages, 2 monster stages to come, and this is how it pans out at 8, 9, 10, 2:30, 3:30 and 4:30. We will see stage 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Will stage 13 Sleeping Warrior right at that 4:30 point be lucky for some? We'll find out on Saturday. Then it's another 6 stages jammed into Sunday. 14, 15 and 16 media zones with us at the top and bottom of those stages. So 10:30 we'll be back with us, and then at 3:30 in the afternoon, after the Wolf Power stage, Hell's Gate, we will find out Who has won another Safari Rally Kenya? Who has made it to the end? What's happened in WRC2? Can Gus Greensmith make an imprint on that championship? Is Oliver Solberg going to survive? Whew, is Elvin Evans going to take Thierry Neuville? Can Oyt Tanak come back into the game? These are questions that will shortly be answered.
Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right. WRC2, we haven't really talked a great deal about that. So, look, Gus Greensmith, he needs to temper himself, get some points in the bag.
I've got one more question for you.
Go on.
Will Kaito's mum bring some tactics into the game again?
I think Kaito Kaitanovic just needs to use the same advice that he took from his mum, which was let everybody else make the mistakes. And actually, that is good advice, because this is one of those rallies where people will make mistakes, and you do benefit from letting other people make mistakes around you, and you just suddenly find yourself up in the leaderboard. And actually, no disrespect to Takamoto Katsuta, he's a great man, but that's when he got his first podium, that's exactly what happened.
Well, if you're in the game, it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, of course it is. You just have to be very, very smart here in Kenya. Simple as that.
Well, are you ready for this? This is about to unfold in front of your eyes. It is one of the toughest rallies that you will see. And over the next few days, you are going to see something spectacular. We are heading to Nairobi in around about 15 minutes for the first of our stages. So make sure you stick with us for that and all of the action as it unfolds. It is going to be one almighty weekend of rallying. So from myself and Jenny, it is goodbye for now. To the action shortly.